Hi guys, Kirkland here. Welcome back. Now we're on part 2 of the tomes. We're in Tome 2, The Reckoning. I just did part 1 video, so now we're going to finish with the story of Steeped in Blood, Memories of Rin Yamaoka. I don't know if I said that right. I tried, but here we go. Enjoy.
Rin sits at her desk, dreading the end of the school day. Not because she enjoys junior high or because she respects her teachers, but because she despises being forced to learn kendo. But her father demands it. He demands that she practice the way of the sword. Not just practice, excel. She's a Yamaoka. The Yamaokas come from a proud legacy, a samurai legacy. He reminds her of this every day, and every day the kids tease and humiliate her, telling her she has no business in their class, telling her she should wield a broom, not a shinai. She ignores them and tries her best. Maybe if she excels with a katana, her father will feel better. He hasn't been himself as of late, frustrated, irritable, reactive. She can't do anything right, nor can her mother. He has become very quiet and talks and argues with himself. She doesn't understand what's happening to him, but she knows he is suffering, and the last thing she wants is to add to his pain. Family is everything, and maybe one day she'll be okay with wielding a katana. Maybe she'll even enjoy it. Rin's bones feel brittle and ready to collapse under the weight of the armor. She holds her bamboo shinai up to her opponent. I want this to be over. Can't this just be over? Her opponent insults her. He tells her there's a shattered window in the changing room she ought to clean before someone cuts themselves, Janitor Yamaoka. He laughs. He makes another janitor joke at her expense. A sudden heat rushes up her face. She wants to shove the shinai down his throat. See how he laughs with wood and splinters piercing through his stomach. Splinters piercing through his throat. Where did those thoughts come from? It's not like her to think such thoughts. She angles her shinai and feels something strange inside. She's never felt anything like it before, like a waking dragon in her heart. She stares at her grinning opponent. Faster than thought, she lunges and strikes his head. Everyone laughs at him. His head slumps in mingled defeat and humiliation. A boy stares at her with wide, disbelieving eyes. He blinks. You might be a Yamaoka after all. She hates to admit it, but it feels good to win. No, not to win. To defeat a foe. To defeat another human being. Defeat another human being? Why would I think this? These aren't my thoughts. But they are. She doesn't understand what happened. What thing came over her to give her the strength to contend with the boy in front of her? He isn't laughing anymore. He glares at her. She beat him. Not once, not twice. Thrice. The boys continue to stare at her open-mouthed. Something is changing in Janitor Yamaoka. They know it. She knows it. She feels the waking dragon in her heart. It's the closest she's ever felt to being a fighter, a warrior, a Yamaoka. And she likes it. Likes being treated with respect. Likes being taken seriously. For an instant, she imagines herself beside the great Renjiro Yamaoka and his son Kazan. Something tugs in her heart, and the dragon stirs. And the dragon, she realizes, is the waking of her raging Yamaoka blood. Janitor Yamaoka, you got lucky. Let's see how lucky you really are. Boys close in on her, cursing, jesting, shouting. She wants to run, but doesn't see an opening. She wants to apologize for being good with a shinai, but the waking dragon inside her heart won't allow it. She didn't do anything wrong. She has no reason to apologize. She finally did what she was supposed to do, and now they close in on her as though she had cheated, as though they could see the dragon that had helped her. She feels scared. Where is that dragon now? Where is the spirit of her ancestors? She raises a pleading hand for her abusers to stop. You will pay. You made me look foolish. For a moment, there is an opening between two boys, and there's no hesitation, only action. She charges through and storms across the schoolyard with a group of angry boys in pursuit. She quickly ducks behind a garbage bin and watches the boys run past her. One stops, turns towards the bins, narrows his gaze. She holds her breath. She can hear her heart pounding in her head. Why hide? You are better than these peasants. Stand and show them who you are. But she does not reveal herself. She hides and wishes that waking dragon to go back to sleep. Rin emerges from hiding and begins her long walk home. The dragon in her heart admonishes her for hiding, tells her she is more than her tormentors and should never cower before bullies and abusers. She's not sure what she should have done or what she should think. Maybe she should have faced them. Maybe she should have confronted them. Maybe she should have beaten them down and torn them limb from limb. Limb from limb? What am I thinking? Where did that come from? Limb from limb. What dark thoughts are these? Before she can answer her own question, she hears a voice. She hears her tormentors jeering and spewing insults at her. She doesn't turn around. She doesn't run. She doesn't run because she knows what's coming, and she doesn't care. The dragon within tells her everything's going to be okay. The boys throw garbage at her, call her Janitor Yamaoka, Janitor Yamaoka, Janitor Yamaoka. She knows what's next. She sees it in her mind's eye like samurai of old. They'll push her down, surround her, punch and kick her, but this time she won't let the pain defeat her. She won't let the fear paralyze her. She'll use the fear and the pain to feed the dragon. Today her bullies will feel teeth and claws. They will feel her wrath, and they will learn she is a Yamaoka.
That was pretty cool. So that's the story of the spirit. Okay, let's continue.
Arcus 328. There is a curiosity at the core of every thinking person. A need for knowledge from uncharted and unknowable territories. But what is discovered in those blank spaces of the abyss, of the cosmos, are things far too immense to understand. Things better left unobserved, lest they undermine our sanity. Better to embrace ignorance than face the truth of our insignificance in the grand scheme of it all. Against the vastness of the infinite, we are mere microbes, swirling in an endless, indifferent cosmic stew. I say stew, but the entity is probably more of a blood pudding. Arcus 7547. Whiskey deep into the night. A strange aftertaste, a flavor from a world which makes the best whiskey. Whiskey dreams are some of the most pleasurable, dreams of home, with friends and family, enjoying time lost. When my senses returned, I realized I had turned my palace of a prison upside down. I remembered none of it. Everything, a drunken blur. So many paintings and statues I had created from memories from other worlds. Shattered. I'm losing my grip on reality, and maybe that's a good thing. One day merges into the next, and I'm lost in a storm of whiskey, screams, and endless streams of broken memories. Arcus, 3212. From a window, I see something moving with an uncanny light. Through the black fog, it shines there, beckoning me. And yet I cannot leave. I cannot move. I can only bring things to me through the Aurus. What light is this? Is it a creature sent by the entity? Is it a survivor? Or perhaps it's a marooned soul from back home searching like myself for a way back. An unnatural wind whines, and I stare at the moving, hypnotic light. A hideous watching eye, trying to reach out to me. Trying to tell me something. Trying to convey something in its strange, rhythmic movement. Arcus, 345. I have recently wondered if survivors realize the titanic significance of their thoughts and feelings, and of how the entity uses them to furnish the trials. Thoughts and feelings that bring me glimpses of what it's like to have lived on a parallel world as someone else. It helps pass the time. Arcus, 1043. I look and observe the realms of the entity with eyes that see disharmony, chaos, fear, and terror. And yet I acknowledge I may be swayed by appearances, and that there may be another truth beyond the veil, and it feels futile, if not absurd, to try to put to words what I am seeing. Arcus, 767. The Aurus was little understood back home, and to be fair, I wasn't given the chance to explain its merits to the Council. Had they taken the time to understand, they would have realized that though I had no verifiable explanation for how the Aurus works, I had theories. And the most reasonable was that the Aurus works on the basis of the Trinitarian of creation, a concept long held by our ancestors and forgotten throughout the ages. But the concept isn't complicated, isn't witchcraft, isn't a secret. It simply suggests that it takes two things to create a third, a father and mother to create a child, an idea and passion to create something new, something real, something lasting and meaningful, a thought and feeling. Therein lies the best theory of the Aurus and how it is able to create with auric particles. The failing of other pioneers back home is they believed thought alone was enough, when in reality it is only half the equation. The other half is emotion, for it is feeling and passion that fuels the fires of creation. The Aurus amplifies and manifests and forges something new using the mold of thought and the fires of passion. Or, I've been here too long, and I'm grasping at theories to pass the time. Arcus, 293. Things could have been worse. I could have been banished in a dimension without auric fog, containing the memory imprints of countless victims. Memories that keep me entertained and busy with my coin and spirit collections. And the music. The variations from parallel worlds. It helps pass the time. In a twisted way, I think what I'm admitting is that I'm glad the entity takes what it wants, when it wants, from the Omniverse. Arcus, 632. Through a rift, I believe I culled another memory of Vigo, manifesting reality within the entity with something reminiscent of the Aurus. How he came to understand the machinations of the fog is both puzzling and inspiring. It suggests to me that perhaps this place enhances one's connections to our infinite selves throughout the Omniverse. Arcus, 9873. King has this way of doing things that are quite amusing. One of my favorite memories I return to time and time again whenever I need a lift is Memory 2332. Gasoline Man. King grabs this man who skipped a few payments on a loan. He drags him by the hair and throws him in an alley. He grabs a metal gasoline container and douses the sod with its contents and lights a match. He stares at him through the flickering flame as the man screams in terror. He watches him beg for his life. Then he flings the match. The man's eyes pop out of his head as the flame hits his chest and falls to the floor with a sizzle. King tells him to make his payment or next time he'll use real gasoline. Brilliant. Arcus, 9082. Max has quite an arm. A farmer made his way out of a barn, and with one well-aimed blow with a spade, his head was severed from his shoulders, and 2 spouts of hot blood burst from his body like geysers. He watched the headless man stagger stupidly and collapse in a growing puddle of steaming blood. I have to admit I've gone through this memory more than once. It's one of my favorites. I find Max disturbingly amusing, and the illusion of death fascinating. At a distance.
Wow, that was cool. I think he might have been talking about the Trapper. I haven't read the lores of the characters, really, so this is my honest reaction to reading this and hearing this at the same time. So I'm just making my own educated guesses. But you guys be sure to leave your comments and things and let me know what you know, because I'd always appreciate conversation and learning this game even more. And I love to play this game. That's why I want to share this information with you, because I know a lot of you can't play and get these pieces for yourself. So I did the homework to do that, and now I want to share this with you. But if you guys know stuff too, tell me what you think and feel, but try not to give too much spoilers into other tomes and stuff. Just what we're talking about right now, and then as we go on, I'm going to be showing obviously more tomes and more stories. So we'll learn together as we go. Okay, let's finish up with the revelations.
Arcus, 893. Several survivors went mad trying to escape the trial. They had with them memories of previous incarnations, so that one survivor began dashing his head against a wall, convinced he was reliving a nightmare he had just escaped. The other survivors drowned him in mud to shut him up. It seems to me survivors are torches growing dimmer and dimmer with every trial. Some stop to feel altogether and are doomed to the void. Others go raving mad and need to be silenced by others. Arcus, 223. I felt an uncanny and unseen presence in the archives as I contemplated the entity. I could hear the labored breathing of killers standing outside my prison. I looked out into the dark, raging fog and saw nothing. Either the entity is aware of my presence and is preparing to send killers to put an end to my plans, or the memories of survivors are somehow merging with my personal memories, and these sounds are mere side effects of overusing the Aurus. In the end, it doesn't matter. If I could end the entity, I would, even if it meant my own demise. My life is little to pay for the salvation of the worlds it will destroy. Arcus, 1032. Jumbled experiences of brutal killers and weird rituals of godless brutes from worlds too dark to care. I jerked myself straight out of one memory that pulled me into a cavern of bodies with an odor so repugnant I was retching for hours. I still have that horrible taste in my mouth and shudder at the thought of that smell. That horrible smell. Rotting humanity. What foul creature of a man had made this festering hole his lair is beyond me. Arcus, 7456. I am taking notes under incredible mental strain. I have had flashes of survivor memories overrun my senses all day, and I'm trying to focus on home and gather myself. I haven't used the Aurus for some time, and yet I have been pulled in and out of these lives randomly. These records, these archives will, I imagine, help me remember myself. should this Oris nudge me into the abyss.
Thank you guys for spending time with me today. If you have friends or family that play this game and would like to know information like codes for charms or login rewards for BP or even codes for BP, make sure you tell them about this channel and like and subscribe. And also leave your comments and let me know what you'd like to see in the future, and I'll do my best to accommodate. Also, if you have issues with the Tome challenges and you need help and you want to know what perks might be best to use to complete these challenges, hit me up and let me know, and I'll be glad to help you out, because I have all the perks, and I was able to complete these challenges relatively easy. It just took a long time for me to complete, because for a long time I didn't play as killer, and also it takes a while for all these matches to load, and sometimes, you know, you can't complete the challenge on the first try. So it took me a few years to complete all these challenges, because I've been playing since 2018, and yeah, so now that I finally finished all these challenges and have caught up, that's why I'm sharing all this with you, because I really want to help out. So as always, be safe out there and have fun playing in the FLAG. And until next time, we'll catch you on the next one. This is Kirkland signing out. Bye for now, guys. Thanks again.